Breaking news at this hour, an explosion levels a multi-million-dollar home near Lake Norman, killing one and injuring another. This is a live look from our Queen City News drone at the rubble left behind at that home along Barber Loop in Mooresville. As you can see, complete destruction. And that's where we find Queen City News reporter Savannah Rudisell. She was first on the scene this morning. Savannah, how are neighbors reacting to this?
Annie, we have seen a lot of people start to come over to this house as friends and family members are starting to piece through this rubble, trying to find anything that they can salvage. What we've seen so far is them come with some boxes, empty boxes, trying to take away anything that they have. Some things like T-shirts and clothes, shoes, some kitchen supplies as well. We see them kind of trying to work through this. We've also seen people bring coolers and really just a lot of offers for help and a lot of hugs. Again, one person is dead and another man is injured here after this early morning explosion and house collapse. Officials say that one person was able to walk out of this home on their own, but then of course they were taken to the hospital to be treated for their injuries. Mooresville Fire and Rescue teams spent hours searching through these piles of debris for victims. Neighbors say that they heard just a thunderous collapse. They said it was a boom. It was something that they hadn't really heard anything like that before, right around midnight. Some nearby families say they were the ones who called 911 thinking their house was in danger, but it was this home here on the corner lot, and it shows that there was just insulation, debris, pieces of roofing were scattered for blocks. Some other neighbors tell us that it was just a terrible sight to wake up to.
I'm just freaked out. I can't believe that house is devastated. It was a beautiful house, and I'm really hoping no one was in there. That's my fear, is that someone might have been in there.
Now, Queen City News did some digging and found that the home belongs to Tennessee Titans cornerback Caleb Farley. Now, we can let you know that since we have been out here, we have seen Farley walking around and he is safe. Now, authorities have not yet released the names of these two victims. They said they were two men, but now they're still notifying some of the families. They're not going to be releasing the names of who they are. Now, Julian and Annie are back in the studio with a little bit more about what we know about the property, the player, and the people connected to it. Guys?
Yeah, Savannah, thank you so much. So we're going to bring in Julian Sador here for more on just who is Caleb Farley, a local standout, but a lot of people may not be familiar with him.
It may not be familiar with him. They may know him as a Tennessee Titans football player, but he's a local star, as we've been talking about. He played at Maiden High School. Was actually a quarterback there where he was second-team All-State. He went on to play at Virginia Tech before being drafted by the Titans, and he actually was back in the area to host his second annual free youth football camp. And for reference, Maiden is about half an hour away from Mooresville, so not only is he a local guy, but also somebody who gives back. And we've been looking into what Farley has been doing, how he acquired the property. We actually found out that he acquired it in May of last year for a little over $2 million. And searching through records, we found that, of course, May of last year is when he bought it. It's just over 6,500 square feet, but it sits on a property that's over 1.5 acres in size. And that gives you kind of an idea about how an explosion of this magnitude didn't damage any of the surrounding homes. Here's what's interesting, though. The records also show that the home is heated by natural gas. We also saw Old Dominion workers bring out a gas meter, so we can't say definitively what happened here, but the scene does look eerily similar to a scene that we saw in 2019 in Ballantyne. That's when the couple returned home from vacation. They smelled gas, and within minutes, their home had exploded. You're looking at security footage from a house that was right next door. That explosion killed the wife and injured the husband. Looking at the aftermath of the scene with all the debris there, it looks very similar to what we saw today. Neighbors of that Ballantyne home also said very similar things to what we've heard today. A loud explosion that they felt there. So we can't say definitively what it was, but that was a natural gas leak there in Ballantyne. We've seen that the home in Mooresville did have natural gas supplied to it. We saw that from the records there. A very similar scene. It's going to take a few days before we find anything in terms of the cause of it, and probably a few weeks before we know what could have sparked that. But obviously a lot of investigation ahead. And
this house was more than 6,500 square feet, so you can just see from all that video there, it will take time to not only clean it up, but as that investigation continues, just neighbors in that area really shocked to know that that could happen right down the street. Julian, thank you so much. And Queen City News will continue to bring you the very latest details on this story. You can find all those developments on our website, qcnews.com, and on the go on our QC News app.